Jesus says to them that without me, you can do nothing. And I take that with me every single day because without God, we are nothing. We can do nothing. I need him to do everything in my life. So I like that constant reminder that without God, I can do nothing. Um, Hi, my name's Jeffrey. Everybody calls me Beam. I am a man of many talents. I'm a director, videographer, photographer. I make YouTube videos. I do movie and TV show reviews on there. It's one of my main creative passions. At the moment, I am the co-president of a Christian fitness association that I run with my friend Nathan. And yeah, I love going to the gym. I love watching movies. It's pretty much me.
Got a lot of different talents for you. Okay, top three movies of all time.
Creed 2 is number one. At number two, we got La La Land. And at number three, probably the Batman.
What is it about the new Batman that you like the best?
He's the best Batman. I feel like he really encapsulates who Batman should be because a lot of people, there's been a lot of Batman renditions, but this was the only time we saw Batman like really be a detective like he is in the comics. And I think that this is the only time that we've really gotten Bruce Wayne right. Yes, he is like the billionaire playboy guy, but we've never really delved into his like inner psyche in a film before, like they did in the Batman, and like explored his mental state as a human being. And that's what I like.
I guess sometime you'll have to come back and talk more about movies because I've never seen, I don't watch a lot of movies, but you could probably fill me in on all the movies I missed in the last 10 years, probably.
I could indeed.
That's awesome. So let's kind of transition a little bit. You mentioned how you're the president of the Christ Fit Association, which I'll come back to a little bit later. But let's kind of just start with your general faith life. How long have you been religious? Has it been something lifelong or something you kind of picked up in recent years?
I've been going to church ever since I was a kid. My parents raised me in the church, but I haven't always I've always been like a Christian for sure, but I didn't really take it seriously. I mean, as seriously as I could, I'd say until I started going to college because I remember my senior year of high school, the beginning of senior year of high school, I turned 18, and year 18 was definitely the worst year of my life. I was really depressed that entire time, and it was like things were going really bad in my life. It was just a bad time to be me, unfortunately. But I got to college. It was my freshman year, and I don't know. I knew I needed something to change. I wanted to be better. I didn't want to be sad anymore. And I started praying more. I started reading my Bible. Um, and that really just it enlightened me. It made my life better. It really changed my life around. Getting closer to God really just like changed everything for me. It made me look at life differently. I started approaching, just getting up in the morning differently. I felt like a better man in general just after getting closer to God. And yeah, now I am where I am now.
What was your motivation for getting up before you found God, or was there really none?
I didn't really have any. I was just kind of going through the motions, I guess. I would stay up really late every single day. I couldn't really go to sleep. I didn't have peace inside of my mind. My mind was just a constant war zone. I didn't have that thing anchoring me down. So I would just get up in the morning and kind of just do stuff. I didn't know why I was doing it, but I didn't really see I didn't know what my life like where it was going, what I was supposed to be doing. I just was kind of going through the motions of life every single day.
Was movies kind of an escape?
It definitely was. There was a period of time. I say I like the Batman. There's about this was really bad. It was about like a month straight. Not maybe not like an entire month, but there's a long stretch of time where I couldn't go to sleep. And this was in March because the Batman came out in March and I'd seen it in theaters, and so I would watch it because it was also on HBO Max, and I'd be up until like 6 a.m. every single day. And if I couldn't go to sleep by like 2 a.m., I'd turn on the Batman and I watched the Batman every day for like a month straight. It was really bad. But yeah, movies were definitely an escape for me. I felt happy when I watched movies. It was a way like I wasn't in my mind anymore. I wasn't here. I was for those 2 hours and 30 minutes I could sit there and watch a movie and just feel like everything was right in the world before going back into everything that felt wrong.
So when was kind of the moment where, you've been watching the Batman every night to go to sleep? When is the moment where it's like, okay, that's not working. I need something more. And when did that kind of, make you reconsider getting back in the faith?
I think it was like maybe November-ish of my this was like my freshman year of college. It was like November, fall semester. I used to be an engineer. I'm not anymore, but I used to be doing computer engineering. I was failing calculus. I dropped computer science because I was going to fail that. I was doing really bad in chemistry. I didn't know how to do good in these classes. I felt worthless. I felt like I was failing my parents who were paying for my education, and like I felt like I realized that something I was doing in my life wasn't working, and I didn't want to ask for help, which is not good. You should always go and ask someone for help, but I didn't do that. But God was my help. Like I said, I'd always been raised in church, so I knew what the right thing to do was. I just wasn't doing it. If you're depressed, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. Like you know what you need to do to stop being sad, but it's just like you can't do it while you're sad because you're just so sad you don't want to do anything. I felt like I didn't want to be better at the time that I was bad, but then like eventually I realized, hey, I need to change something in my life. So it started out by just, I would read the verse of the day on the Bible app every morning. It started out like that. And then eventually, I would read the proverb of the day every single day. And then I start in the Bible plans and just progressively building up the steps to like building an actual relationship with God.
What changes do you see now in your behavior and your attitude? You mentioned about how you have like motivation. It's like what's kind of changed in your whole outlook on life since you kind of rediscovered Christ?
The whole reason I was depressed in general was because like I felt really lonely. I had this group of friends in high school, but then they all kind of like, not all of them, but like the main ones I was close to kind of like switched up on me for some reason or another. And I don't know. I didn't feel like I was good enough. I really wanted friendship in my life. And because like ever since I was like from a kid to like through middle school and all that, like I was getting bullied nonstop. And I'm a really big sitcom guy, and I'd always seen, these groups of friends and sitcoms. That's why I love Guardians of the Galaxy because there's a found family in there. That's why I love One Piece. I love found family dynamics, and I wanted to find that in my life, and I thought I did in high school, and then I didn't. I realized that it had all fallen apart, and that broke me even more. And so I feel really lonely. I really wanted friendship, but then like in getting closer to God, I realized that if it was meant to be, it's meant to be. God has a plan for you, and so I just kind of like I said, I started approaching life differently. I stopped caring about, chasing after those things that I wanted. I stopped I feel like I'm all over the place. But I feel like I was doing certain things in my life to try to make people like me so that they would be my friend. I didn't know how to like 100% be myself because since I got bullied, I didn't think people liked me. I didn't think people wanted the real version of me. So I would do certain things, have certain behaviors around certain people. I would act a certain way around this group of people, act a certain way around this group of people so that I could like get friends and get people to like me and things of that nature. And then in getting closer to God, I realized that he made me. why he made me for a reason. I'm here for a reason, and I'm just gonna be myself 100% of the time. I'm not gonna care what other people think because at the end of the day, people's opinions don't matter. God's opinion matters. Pleasing God is the only thing that matters in my life. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do me, and that made me, wake up and just start wanting to better myself for me instead of doing it for other people. So I started doing more things for myself. I told my parents I want to change my major, and my parents were really supportive about me. I changed my major. I'm a film major now, also information science for the backup and whatnot. But I changed my major. I started going to the gym, started reading the Bible more. I just started doing more things for myself, and I was happier after that. I had, like I said, I had a reason for waking up. I had something to do when I wake up. I'm like, okay, I got to read my Bible. I got to go to the gym. I got to make this YouTube video. I got to do. And I was happier because I was like intentionally going about life trying to make myself happy. And then with that came the friends. It came the found family that I was looking for. But before I found that, I had to work on myself. I had to work on my relationship with God. And once I got all that settled out, then God was like, okay, I can give you what you want.
Wow, that's awesome, man. You're looking for friends, and God was your friend all along.
Hmm.
For Matthew, I think, says, "Seek first the kingdom of God, seek Him first, and then all these things, your
All these
friends,
things.
your sense of purpose, your sense of community, all these things will be added unto you." And so I think that's a really, really great story how you've been kind of able to find your footing and find your people. So that's awesome. I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad you're able to see the other side of the dark time that you had.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so you mentioned that you started reading the verse of the day as a way to kind of get yourself back into the faith. So if you had to pick a favorite verse or passage, what might that be?
John, I think it's John 15:5. I know it's in John 15. I think it's verse 5. The beginning of the verse talks about it's Jesus talking to the disciples, and he's like, I'm the vine, you are the branches. But the end of the verse, Jesus says to them that without me, you can do nothing. And I take that with me every single day because without God, we are nothing. We can do nothing. I need him to do everything in my life. He's the reason why I have everything that I have in my life. So I like that constant reminder. I have a cross chain and I got the Roman numerals of the verse engraved on there just as like a constant reminder that without God, I can do nothing. And that is definitely my favorite Bible verse.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it was hard. It's hard for you to see that in the moment when you're by yourself, you feel isolated. It's hard for you to realize that, yes, God is with you the whole time. And so it's harder to appreciate that when you're in the moment and you're so like hyper focused on like how am I gonna make it through this or that. But knowing that, say that verse one more time.
Without me, you can do nothing.
Without Christ, you couldn't
Hmm.
do anything. And maybe you think the day to day is doing something, but really it's not. It's just staying alive. But really, to do quote unquote something, anything, whatever God calls you to do, requires Him to be a part of the plan. So if He's the one
Amen.
calling you, He's got to be part of the plan too. So that's awesome. That's a great verse. I appreciate you sharing that. So let's kind of talk a little bit about, promise I talked about the Christ Fit Association. It's amazing how you went from not having any friends, feeling isolated, to now you're co-running a club. So kind of talk a little bit about that. What's the mission of the club? What do you guys do? Tell us all about that.
Well, my friend Nate, he's been a big part of my gym journey as well. When I first started going to the gym, I I did it one because like I wanted to like do something to better myself. But my favorite movie of all time is Creed 2, and Creed 3 was coming out March 3rd. So I was like, okay, it's January 1st. Let me try to go to the gym for 100 days straight. And then by the end of the 100 days, I'll look like Creed by the time I go see Creed 3. And then at the end of that 100 days, um like it had become a habit. So I just kept going. I think I made it like 260 something days in a row going to the gym. It was kind of nuts. But Nate had seen that and then that got him to get back into the gym. And he has a Christian podcast called The Imperfect Podcast that he was doing, but like he realized that he was really passionate about fitness. And so he wanted to find a way to bridge, his faith with God and his love for going to the gym. And so then he decided to create the Christian Fitness Association. And all throughout the summer, we would have weekly gym meetups. We went to the Sports and Learner Complex down in PG. And yeah, we're a group of people who want to help other people build their lives up mentally, spiritually, and physically. So we would have gym meetups. We would have weekly Zoom prayer discussions, Bible studies, and yeah, we did some community service a couple times during the summer too. And now, since we're at different colleges, there's like four of us, like really close friends. We were in Boy Scouts together at our church, and we were like in patrols, and we were the only four that made it all the way through. Jonah is at Morehouse, Charles is at Towson, Nate is at Virginia Tech, I'm here at UMD, and we all each have gym meetups every week at our respective colleges, and we're going to start up our weekly Bible studies again soon. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Just trying to help people build up their lives mentally, physically, spiritually, all that good stuff.
That is awesome. Taking care of your physical health is just as important as your mental and spiritual health. I think
Absolutely.
we focus on one of those things and we forget the other. So I love how you're kind of bridging that all together. Is it open to anyone of all fitness skill levels? Like what would you guys do at a gym meetup?
So yeah, it's open to everyone. We want everybody to come. I feel like a lot of people are intimidated to come to a gym meetup because like, you know, we are monsters in a sense. But on the day to day, I just want to help people learn how to get into the gym because I know a lot of people want to start going to the gym, and I know a lot of people are intimidated to go by themselves because they're like, oh my gosh, they're gonna start staring at me and whatnot, or I'm doing something wrong. So since I've been doing it for like what, a year and a half now, I'm like, okay, you can come to the gym with me. I'll show you the ropes. Because I go every day. I've been trying to go every day again. I'm trying to do my 100-day challenge again. I'm on day 17 today, which is kind of insane. I've been going, but anyway, um, on my specific days during the week, I have a leg day, I have a chest, tricep, and shoulder day, and I have a back and bicep day. And so what I've been doing here is this week we'll do legs, next week we'll do, arms, the next week we'll do chest. And so then, every week you get to learn how to hit a different muscle groups. And then if you want to go to the gym by yourself, you know how to do that. And then, you can come back the next week and I can see your progress, congratulate you. We can go harder and harder in the gym every single week. I just want to help people learn how to love the gym because I feel like it's a great thing to do for your life. It can really change your life around. It'll make you feel more confident about yourself. It just helps your overall health in general. And yeah, I just want to help people learn how to love fitness, learn how to love the gym.
That is awesome. I definitely may have to check that out because you're hitting everything there. Being scared of how do I, you know, go to the gym by myself? What am I supposed to do? Where do I start? How do I do all those things? So I think that's an awesome way to do that. And the gym for you has not been something, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a relatively new passion of yours, right? It's not something that's kind of been like lifelong.
I had always wanted to get into the gym, but like, I remember during COVID, I would watch those like at home gym video things and I'd do it for a couple days and then I'd stop. And that's another reason why I wanted to do the 100-day challenge because I felt like I knew I wanted to get fit. I didn't know what to do in the gym. Two, I had no disciplines. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna build up my discipline. And when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even hit legs for 100 days straight. I would go in the gym. I would do some arm curls one day. I'd do a whole bunch of random exercises that probably didn't have anything to do with each other. And then the next day, I'd bench press and do some other stuff. And I'd kind of alternate between those 2 days. But then, in going to the gym those 100 days, I learned what worked. I learned, okay, this exercise helps, your upper chest. This exercise helps your middle chest. This exercise will get this part of your bicep. This exercise does this, that, and the third. And so then in learning that, I learned literally everything on my own. And then I met other people who were going, since I was going every day, I'd see some of the same people in the gym every day. Then they were already ahead of me in their gym journey. So I could learn from them. And now I can take that stuff and teach other people. So it's just like, I always compare it to being a Jedi. I'm now the Jedi Master and I have Padawans now. And it's like, it's cool.
All from somebody who was scared and now you're leading others.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how God turns your life around, man.
That is awesome. And that kind of brings us to a great landing point here to kind of wrap it up. You've obviously talked about a lot of relatable topics, feeling depression, feeling lonely, no friends, to now you're engaged, you're leading others to Christ through fitness and exercise. So, what might you say to someone who, may be struggling right now, maybe have been where you were a few years back? It's not that long ago where you didn't feel like you had a purpose. What might you kind of say to them?
You have a purpose in life. You have a reason for being here. God put you on this earth for a reason. My number one advice is always get closer to God. Find a way to get closer to God. Get a personal relationship with Him. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. God looks at your heart and what your intentions are. And if you are trying your best to get closer to Him, He's going to see that. Like me, like when I first started actually trying to get close to him, I read one single Bible verse every day. And sometimes that's enough. And then you can build that up. But yes, number one, try to get closer to God. And two, like I said, you have a purpose for being on this earth. We all have dreams, we all have goals. And I tell people this all the time. Your younger self is believing in you, and your older self, your future self, is counting on you. So every day you got to wake up and realize that you got a mission on this earth. You got something that you got to do. So you got to wake up and realize, hey, I might be sad, but you got work to do. You got to get out of the bed. You got to go outside. You got to go to work, go to class, get money, chase your dreams. You got to do all that because the future version of yourself is counting on you right now. And yeah, I think that's the best advice that I can give at the moment. Yeah.
Very well said and spoken from experience. You've been there, you've seen the other side, and now you're ready to inspire others. And I'm super proud of how far you've come, man. And so thank you so much for taking a few minutes to share about, your
Thank you
faith
for
journey,
having
the
me.
Christ Fit Association. Definitely love to have you back to chat some more. So
Of
thank you
course,
so
of
much, Beam.
course.
I appreciate you, my man.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you for having me.